Find everyone down here. Literally had to ask the dumbest question I've ever said out loud, which is, how do I go down more stairs?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, wait. I just came to the best session at the conference. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
There you go. There you go. I know you like, first of all, my name is Chanel Alford. You're going to see me fashion as Chanel Alford Campbell. Both persons are me, I promise. And I promise you that you're in the right place. I want to start like this because I know you're wondering, Chanel, there's no panel. What happened? COVID. So people don't have COVID, but here's what happened. The young lady who was approved to present with me, her district didn't allow her to travel. So more people were supposed to be on the panel, they weren't allowed to travel. So here's what we did. They're virtually presenting with video. So it's okay. I thought I had a solution. I thought it'd be like in a couple of days, but it happened. Okay. All right. So our session is called Women, the Underdogs of Instructional Technology. So basically what we're going to talk about today is, number one, things that are plaguing all women right now in instructional technology. Things that are just getting on our last nerve. That's one thing. We're also going to talk about leadership, and I'm going to give you some ways to make everything better. Basically, to build upon your career, things you can do just to move up in the world. All right, that's what we're going to talk about today. Because these are things I wish somebody probably would have said to me. I want to say them to you. All right, we ready? Yeah. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to see, nobody's going to leave me. You know what? I've been in lots of sessions at ITRT. I've been at VISTI. I've been to sorority conferences. I presented at COSIN. You know, no one has left my session before, and I've been so lucky. That was a hint. Okay, all right. All right, but if you haven't, that's my link right there. So you can check me out. A whole bunch of other stuff on the screen. All right, great. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna start off with, I know I introduced myself a little bit, but I paid my niece $20 to introduce me. So you're gonna see a video. I'm kidding. I asked my niece to read my bio for me. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
My name is Chanel Alford, and I approve this message.
Hi, my name is Natalie Chanel Massey, and I am proud to introduce my auntie, Chanel Alford Campbell. Chanel grew up in Richmond, Virginia. She began her career as a middle and high school marketing teacher for 12 years in Portsmouth, Virginia, where she was the citywide Career and Technical Education Teacher of the Year twice. She also worked as an ITRT in Norfolk before becoming a technology integration specialist in Alexandria City Public Schools, where she currently works. Since joining the district in 2018, Chanel has been voted Support Staff of the Year and is one of the recipients of the 2019 COSN Next Gen Emerging Ed Tech Leader Awards. She is currently a VSTE board member where she serves as the Outreach Committee Chair. Chanel is currently in a cybersecurity internship, a master's program, and a doctoral program. She loves technology, reading books, and DJing events.
There you go, free publicity. I think my niece just told you I have no life, but anyway.
So you're DJing the silent disco tomorrow night, right?
I'm DJing the s'mores event tomorrow.
Wow.
Also DJ. Thank you. I like you already. I'm also DJing the vendor reception. So come in there and win prizes. If you stay at the hotel, you win a prize. But come dance with me. I'm pretty good, by the way. All right. I grew up in a house where we listen. My mom listens to country music. My dad listens to Motown. My sister listens to pop music. There's a lot going on in there. So hey, all right. Thank you, by the way. All right. Here we go. I always tell my niece, you're gonna be successful in life. You know why? She has a great middle name. Her middle name is my first name. So I'm like, hey kid, you're going places. She's a senior at University of Alabama. She's a social work major. I'm very proud of her. So she remember, I'll give her a shout out. All right, here we go.
My name is Chanel Alford, and I approve this.
All right, let's talk for a second. So, I know you probably like, what did I enter? Why am I here? So, this is how I present everywhere. It's always like, it's always a little bit crazy. It's okay to have a good time here, all right? All right, today's agenda. Let me down a little bit. It's like I'm in a football game. All right, go. I promised my boss I'd behave. She's not here. Normally she's here in the back. I kind of behave a little bit, but I usually don't. Here we go. Today's agenda. Here we are. Introduction. I'm gonna tell you a few facts in a minute. We have a few virtual panelist videos. In between those videos, I'm gonna ask a few questions. All right, and we'll talk about that. We'll have a little bit of a discussion. So, in-person issues for us. Being mistaken for the IT person. Does that bother anybody? Does that happen to you? Okay, all right. It was just me. Okay. Challenges, leadership advice, and career next steps. So these things we're going to talk about. Chanel is not offering you a job. Don't go back to work and say Chanel told me to quit. All right. just saying. All right. How do we succeed in ed tech? I'm actually going to talk to you for like the last about 20 or 30 minutes about these are things to do that we can do to succeed in ed tech. Things that we can do to make our career better. And tell you some things to help me. And I also think about a female ITRT listserv where we kind of communicate ideas to each other. And we talk about like things that are coming like conferences and free things. I get a lot of free things. I'm tell you what happens. I'm gonna tell you a lot of stories about what happened to me and how I got some stuff for free. You'll be like, really? So yeah, it exists. Now I'll tell you a tear-jerking story at the end. And then, you know, I'm building this up here. All right. All right, everybody's ready?
Yep.
Okay, you guys, like you're still awake. All right. I must be doing pretty well up here. All right. I'm from Alexandria City Public Schools, so my boss always makes us do a presentation of all these facts. Yeah, she's not here, so I cut that down. Everybody's on Zoom who knows my boss, don't tell on me. Okay, great. Really quickly, we have 18 schools. If you ever see the movie Remember the Titans, we're the school from that. Where we were called TC Williams, now we're called Alexandria City High School as of a couple months ago. So random fact. Okay, I know, right?
Yeah.
I love TC Williams. All right, but the person I don't know, but the school title I love. All right, and really quickly, I want to point out that we have students from 145 countries of birth. And here's a fact for you. So when we make a guide, we have to make a guide in 4 languages every time we send something out. So we have that many students from different countries and parents. So I came from Norfolk, so I wasn't used to that. They're like, you can't send that out like that. I was like, what? They're like, what about people who speak Arabic? I was like, really? So I was like, man, it's cool. Okay. All right. ACPS out the way. Let's go. Here we go. Let's talk about some facts here. All right. In Virginia, we have 1,435 ITRTs. I did not make that up. I called Jean Willer and asked her, and she answered me for some reason.
I love that you say that.
True story. She answered me. All right. Anyway, 1,435 ITRTs in Virginia. How many are women? How many do you think? Let's see. 75%. All right, now look, I know right now you're going Chanel, but you just called us the underdogs of instructional technology. Let's see why that is. Go. All right. Look at this. 23,000 CTOs in the United States, right? 9.3% are women. 85.7% are men. Let me ask you a question. In your school division, is the chief technology officer a woman? Anybody? See? Good. Mine too. Here's the thing. This is my 3rd school division. This is the first time I've ever seen a woman. But here's the thing. Now, I was a marketing teacher. Okay, so hear me out here. 23,000, 9.3% of women. I'm gonna guess about 2,100 of those people are probably women. That's not a good number. So here we go. Anybody remember this TV show, Pinky and the Brain? What are we gonna do today, Brain? What do you say?
Take over the
world. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. If you're in this room and you're a man, I want you to stay too. Okay. All right. For you too. All right. I also want to give a shout out to my CTO, Dr. Elizabeth Hoover. My boss is Emily Diller as well. She's a woman in charge of instructional technology. I'm sharing a secret with you guys. Every time I see Dr. Hoover, I feel like I saw Jay-Z. And I try to be cool, you know. I'm trying to act really cool. If you don't know who Jay-Z is, my mom likes Luke Bryan. My mom thinks she's gonna marry Luke Bryan. So she saw him, she would like pass out the scream. So the same thing with her. I walk up to her, like, hey, Dr. Hoover, how are you? I'm thinking, OMG. But yeah, because she's so awesome. Okay. I'm gonna behave myself. Here we go. We're gonna go through a couple of videos from people. I beg to talk to you. All right, but in all seriously, a couple of videos from them, and then we're gonna do a couple of discussion questions in between, and I'll give you some good information at the end. My friends don't know how to act either, so I'm just letting you know in advance. You can't take no people anywhere. Tell you right now. All right, ready? We still up?
Mhm.
Hey, I like that. Here we go.
What?
It is.
Whoa! Where'd you come from? Well, I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and talk. Come on. I've got a lot to share with you. Is that you again? Hello, how are you doing? My name is Darnita Woodhouse, and I'm an instructional technology resource specialist for Norfolk Public Schools in the state of Virginia.
Oh, boss.
Now,
I'm gonna everybody talk about a minute. So let me point something out. Let me ask you a question. In my district, we're what are we? We're a TIS, we're a technology integration specialist. She just went from ITRT to instructional technology specialist. Anybody else called something else? What do you call your district?
Instructional technology coach.
Okay, how about you?
We're called Learning Technology Integrators.
What?
LTI for short.
How about you?
Oh, I'm saying the
Same district. Okay, why is it that we have the only job in America that has like 10 names? Have you all noticed that? Okay, I can't get that off my chest before we continue. Can we get one name? Like to the title of my presentation, I had to go. What's the most non-offensive title? ITRT. I don't know. Okay, sorry. I'm on my soapbox today. I won't behave. I promise. Okay.
Before we get started, did Chanel give you a key to my lair? Chanel? Did you give them a key? Because when I looked around, there they all were like staring at me, or you all were staring at me. So, well, I'm happy to have you with me right now. All right. So thank you for coming. So I want to talk to you a little bit about, what it is to be a female ITRT, or instructional technology resource teacher or specialist. Being a female in this field sometimes can be tough. A lot of educational stakeholders, they tend to lean toward our male counterparts instead of leaning toward the female, because sometimes they don't exactly trust you until they really, really get to know you. One of the things that I have encountered as a female ITRT is the fact that if I'm standing beside a male and I'm talking to somebody that happens to have some sort of technology problem, that person is going to eyeball that male first and start talking to them instead of realizing that I am the technology person who can help them out. So, sometimes I have to chuckle. Sometimes I have to stop at the moment and say, hey, I am the instructional technology resource specialist, but I'm here to help you. But this is Chuck. Chuck is just, hey, Chuck, just say hello. All right. And then that person looks around like, oh, okay.
First of all, I told you, I can't take my friends to Norfolk anywhere. I can tell her to do that. If you're just joining us, thank you for coming. I was telling my new friends, we all friends here, that my panel couldn't make it due to COVID, so I have videos from everyone who was supposed to speak. And you get me one-on-one, so I mean, what's better than that? Come on. All right, let's talk for a second. We done with Darnita. We just talked to Darnita virtually anyway. Let's talk about something. Darnita she definitely mentioned that lots of times people talk to our male counterparts more. Does that happen to anybody? Oh, man. So let me ask you a couple questions. We won't go through all this stuff, but I want to know, letter A, what is the most pressing issue for women in instructional technology right now? Oh, I got a hand.
That's right, credibility.
Oh, I love it. Credibility. Come on.
If you're not in the public school system, pay.
Say it one more time for me.
If you're not in the public school system, like I'm in another organization, the pay is not always fair.
That's good too. I like it. Anybody else? I like everything you just said. Credibility, that's a big deal. People are looking at us like, hey, what makes you credible to help me? Are you qualified to help me? And I got a slide later on, we're gonna talk about that, how to make ourselves more credible. All right, so don't leave me. Hang in there. Right?
So respect.
Woo, man, these are good words right here. That's almost a bad word right here, respect. That's right, because they see you coming, they're like, huh, can she do it? You know me, I love myself. I think I can do anything. I want to tell you about that. Go ahead.
A little bit with credibility, but having a voice at the table with the male-dominated leadership team. So we raised our hand that our CTO is a female, but all of the leaders underneath her are male. And feeling like, since we're at the bottom of the organization chart, feeling like we have a seat and a voice at the table that they see value in.
Gosh. Like my team say, we call ours TIS therapy when we have our conversation. That's what we're ITRT therapy. So whatever it is, get it out today. Okay. I can't give you a real hug, but I can give you a virtual one. All right. I understand. If you can let me talk for a few minutes, I might tell you everything. We'll make a couch. I'm sorry. All right, I'm back on track. I promise my boss I'll be good. All right. Okay. So we're gonna listen to Kyle, and then we're gonna listen to had the Askey of the chair of the Vista board to talk here too. I don't know, I guess they like me or something. I don't know. We'll look at Kyle for like a minute or so, then we'll go on, right?
Hi, I'm Kyle Dunbar. I work in Alexandria City Public Schools. I worked in education about 25 years, and my current position as a technology integration specialist. When I think about challenges I encounter in my job, there's sort of two main challenges. One is only being looked at as the tech person. So teachers and administrators coming to me just about plugging in cables or sound networking or things like that. I address this challenge by trying to be as graceful as I can and addressing the troubleshooting I know I can help with, sort of some easy things to check, and then just clearly explaining to teachers if I've exhausted those things, that my expertise is in integration and I'm happy to help out, but it needs to be raised to someone who has more technical skills. People usually.
Oh boy, Kyle just said a mouthful right there. Hold on, let's go to the next question because I want to know. And I'm sure this is happening to everybody.
Hi, I'm Kyle Dunn.
You're to be the IT person. Does this happen to you? Anybody? Yes. My goodness. Oh goodness. Chanel, can you help with this? You fix my printer? Here's my problem. I can fix the printer. But I'm not supposed to fix the printer. Yeah. My new district told me, I came from a district where I had to fix the printer. And my new district, like, Chanel, you can't do that because that's not your job. But then it wants something crazy that I don't have access to. Then that's when I go, hey, you got to put a help desk ticket in for it. But Chanel, you can do anything. I'm like, oh, here we go. They want to butter you up, but it's not our job. How do you respond when they think you're the IT person? Well, anybody?
I think it can be hard, especially as a coach trying to build that relationship. Sometimes you want to give that teacher like that quick win of being able to help them, but then it does blur the lines of what you do. And so I hold a pretty hard line in like suggesting the ticket to our T-spec and, saying that'd be the best avenue of doing it.
Your comment was for me. You're like, Chanel, don't do it. It was for me.
Yeah.
I get a lot of students who come to my office door because, I'm easier to find sometimes than our actual, T-speckers around the building fixing things. Mm-hmm. And some of the students know me too, because I used to teach in the building. And so a lot of times they'll be like, you're the IT person now, right? And I'm like, well, not really. Those are the first two letters, but I say to them that I think I'm trying to build some capacity for the kids. So I try and take a teachable moment to teach them what they can do to try and troubleshoot the issues themselves. And then explain to them here's the stuff that I'm supposed to help you with. And then here's the stuff that Mr. So-and-so is supposed to help you with, kind of thing. And it's a lot easier to do that with the students than with the staff, but hopefully.
As you were talking, I started thinking about, in my district, we have a student help desk in all of our secondary schools. They go to the student help desk, the Chromebook goes bad, something breaks or whatever, right? And they're supposed to go there, and I got a text at 8 o'clock in the morning a couple days ago, like, Chanel, are you here? I'm like, sure, I'm here. Can you come look at the student's Chromebook? I'm like, but Mr. Delgado's downstairs. But Chanel, come fix it. I'm like, they want you to fix everything. Yes, but I think like my friend here said, we do have to establish a boundary. Like, hey, this is this person's job. This is who you go see for this. And it's hard though, because you do want to help everybody. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because you want them, because as a woman, you don't want them to think that you can't do it. That's one big thing I have an issue with. I'm like, I can do it. I don't need you, but we do need to have put a ticket in sometimes. Go right ahead.
I have been known once in a while to fudge what I'm telling them as far as I can tell you how to do it, but I don't have the access to what it needs. I don't have those admin rights that I need for that. I can tell you exactly what to tell them to explain your problem. It'll probably get it solved for you quicker from the help desk, but I don't have that level of access.
That's so true. In my district, we don't have access to it. We have a person who's assigned to do everything. So I can't reset the gradebook password. I can't go into certain things on the computer. It makes me upset. I saw another hand over here.
No, I was co-signing.
You were co-signing? Sure, go ahead.
I can say like in years past, before this past year, we only had a T-spec at our school that was part-time. So I really had to step up on those days that he wasn't there. But I did finally start using, oh, that's a technical issue, he should take care of it. Or that's an instructional issue, I'll take care of that. So I really try to use a teachable moment to let them understand the difference between technical and instructional and what my role is. It's starting to work, but again, I think the students is a big thing too. They know to come to me, so.
I like that. We do have to train our teachers to say, hey, okay, this person, we even made a chart. These are my responsibilities, these are his responsibilities. It's still not working.
Teachers are not great at directions.
Yeah, they expect students to do all this stuff and they can't follow directions either. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox today. That's one more hand.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's also especially hard when your IT is a male, and as a woman, you're like, don't want to have to pass it off to something that like a man's job would do, especially when you know you can fix it. So it's hard to be like, oh no, the man IT is gonna come in and troubleshoot your problem.
Yeah, so true.
I always try to I'll tell them straight up, like, I'm gonna try to fix this. And if I can, I can. And if I can't, you're gonna have to contact. Because I'll tell them, I'm like, I'm instructional tech, but they're informational tech. Like they can fix and I cannot. But I try to do as much as I can. But I need to stop.
I'm telling you, son, we're in the meeting. Okay, moving on. All right, I'm gonna hear myself today. I have one more, I'm taking one more comment in the back.
We have a problem of our IT department's not as efficient as it could be, so we have people get mad at us that we can't fix their problem, and it's, oh, I've got to call IT, why can't you do it? Because they're gonna be useless for 3 days. And we had people get irate.
We're higher ed.
We're higher ed.
Yeah, but it sounds just like K-12. They're impatient, they want it done right now.
They get irate at us and we can't do it.
Has anybody been yelled at by a teacher this year because something hadn't gotten done? That's it. And I'm the sweetest person.
Today.
I'm the sweetest person in the world. Can't you tell? Okay. We have 2 more videos and then I'm going to give you all the goods. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do some leadership perspectives. I don't know how I managed to get this. She did this under 24 hours, but okay.
Hello, my name is Heather Askey, and I'm an Instructional Technology Coordinator, Adjunct Professor, and Online Learning Specialist here at the University of Virginia's College at Wise Center for Teaching Excellence. This is my 21st year in education, and I've served many different roles from classroom teacher to ITRT to instructional math coach, and now my current position here at UVA Wise. One of the best parts about my job, I think now, is that I have been able to build so many great contacts and relationships with school leaders, with teachers, with ITRTs all across the state of Virginia and beyond. So it's been a fantastic way to connect with classrooms, to see what works, what are best practices, and see them in action. But I also get to still work with teachers. And once I've always said, once you've had a class with me or once you've had a training with me, I become your ITRT for life. I'm always available for quick answers or any kind of feedback. For those of you who are seeking ITRT positions or leadership positions in technology and or educational technology, I would just encourage you to be creative, be reflective on your practice, and work to build good relationships with your teachers. One of the things that made me a successful ITRT, and ultimately in the leadership role that I'm in today, is that I really worked on making good relationships. My teachers understood that when I came to work with them, when I came to bring
I'm just saying a word right here. She's talking about relationships. I think that's very important in our position. If you say, I'm going to be there at 9 o'clock, be there at 9 o'clock. If you're coming to teach that class, be there to teach that class. Be there on time. They're looking for you. And once you don't show up one time, especially as a woman, what happens? They're like, I knew she couldn't do it anyway. I mean, that's what some people are thinking. So we definitely want to make sure we build that relationship. Once you do it one time, come back. In my school, one thing they know, they can depend on me. That's a good and bad thing, because now at 9 o'clock at night, they're like, still. And then here I go, I'm answering. I've been working on. I told you this is ITRT therapy. I'm working on. All right.
Hello, my name is Heather.
All right, my last person is from Norfolk Public Schools. This is Sonia. And then I have a couple questions for you. And then I'm going to tell you what made me successful. You ready? You still awake?
Yeah.
All right, I like y'all. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Sonia Bridges, and I am in Norfolk Public Schools in Norfolk, Virginia. This is my 25th year in education, and I am an instructional specialist for career and technical education. So what advice would I give a female ITRT who would like to move up to my position or a similar one? Well, here's some thoughts. First, I would suggest researching the position of interest. Find someone in the position. Talk to them about the position. What are the tasks that need to be completed? What are the skills that are needed? What are the
I showed you two leadership people, and I wanted to show you a little bit of Sonia because she's saying a couple of things. You probably look at me going, Chanel, why do you have a CTE person on here? Because she was at ITRT for about 10 years before she got that position. She's been in this position less than a year, and they sought her out because of the things she was doing that was so great. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of her, and let's talk about something. You ready? Let's get into it. Here we go. This is the problem. I got to start talking for a while. Here we go. What are your next? I heard you saw some leaders up here. What are some next steps in your career? Again, this is not Chanel saying I'm going to give you a job. All right, want to pick that up. What's something you want to accomplish this year? Anybody have any goals for this year that you've set? And I'll tell you one of mine. I'll start. I told you, therapy. I wanted to become a certified education technology student. I wanted the CETO certification. I'm going to talk about the certification later. There's only 800 people with the CETO in the country. There's only 19 in Virginia. I'm number 19. So, I wasn't expecting that. Hey, don't get me excited. All right. So very hard test. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it when we get to that slide, okay? But that's something I want to accomplish this year. Every year I set a goal, even if I don't need a new goal. I won a National Tech Award in 2019. I'm a Google certified trainer. I was like, oh, I'm good. But I was like, you know what? I need to do something better. That's what we're talking about today. All right, here we go. Let's start. Things that have made me a better person or a better ITRT. Found a mentor. My husband Will kept telling me, he kept saying, you gotta find a mentor. He works in healthcare. I'm like, no, I don't need a mentor. I'm cool. No mentor. No, you need a mentor. And here's why. Feedback and career advice. Let me ask you a question. You saw 4 people on that screen. Who's my mentor, you think? Which one?
It should be all 4.
Should be all 4. One of them, I'm her mentor. Anybody guess?
Was it Heather? Was it Heather?
Not Heather. Who had the calmest voice on there? Yep, Sonia. Sonia Bridges is my mentor. Here's why. But when I found out that Sonia's I'm from Richmond originally. She's from the same part of Richmond I'm from. Nobody's from the same part of Richmond I'm from. That's one problem. But number 2, Sonia has her stuff together. Like I told you, she's got that position. So what I want to tell you about finding a mentor, they give you good feedback. She's not afraid to go, Chanel, that's not good. No, a lot of people don't know how to tell me that. It's okay to say Chanel's not good. I take criticism well. Career advice. When I was about to move to Alexandria, out of nowhere, I'll tell you how I got there. You won't believe how I got there. I'll tell you that in a few minutes. She gave me feedback on that. She didn't think it was a good idea at first. It was an amazing move. Mentor someone else. a student, if you have a student you see walking around the building, it could be the worst student in the whole building. Make sure you stop and talk to that student if they're interested. I was fixing a smart board the other day. Nobody, I wasn't fixing a smart board. Nobody heard that. Anyway, man, telling on myself. Anyway, I was talking to a teacher about a smart board the other day, and a young lady was sitting about right here. And I could tell she's a trouble young lady. The teacher was fussing at her, and she said, "Miss Alford Campbell." I said, "Yeah." She said, "How'd you get so good at technology?" I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "I don't know." I said, "I got 3 education degrees." I said, "I like to break stuff and fix it. I don't know." And she was like, "Well, what do you do?" She was like, "Tell me more." I was like, "Really?" It's like 8th grader. So now every time I see this kid, she stops me and asks me questions. We actually have a coding group, a female coding group in my school that we started. Meets every Wednesday. I put her in the group. Look, I'm trying to win here. All right, all right. Another colleague. If you have a colleague in your school who is somebody who's kind of like, "I'm not good at technology," just keep working with them. And eventually they'll think they're great at technology. I have one who I kept working with, and now she thinks she's better than me. I'm like, hold on, I'm like, hold your horses. You're not that great. But no, but now she's starting to apply for different positions. She's getting a master's degree in instructional technology just because she said I influenced her. So that's my thing. If you see somebody, help them out. You might think, "I have nothing to offer." Yes, you do. All right. So what's the first thing I just told you to do? Anybody, hold on. What's the first thing I just said? Don't look at the screen. What are you finding? A mentor. Find somebody. I got Dr. Hoover. I might make her one. She doesn't know it yet. I gotta stop thinking she's Jay-Z every time I see her. I'm like, "Woo!" Every time I see her. I gotta act right. All right, here we go. How do we succeed in ed tech? Keep up with ed tech trends. If you're a doctor, right? When you go and look up all the new procedures, I want to know what the new scalpel looks like. I don't know if they do that for real. I made that up, but look, they might want to know what the new scalpel looks like. I don't know. But in the ed tech, we want to know all the trends. So anybody get the Tech and Learning newsletter? Let me tell you how I started getting this. One of my coworkers in Norfolk was getting in her mailbox. It got in mine accidentally one day, right? I kept it. I was like, "What is this?" Yeah, Sherry never got that back. Don't tell her if you know her, don't tell her. All right. Alice Keeler. Anybody like Alice Keeler? Okay, look, all right. I'm not in a group for 200 people. I saw her in person. I swear, I was like, "Whoa!" I went to Insta and saw her. If you haven't seen this site, let's talk for a second. I won't go through all these, but look at this. This is Alice Keeler's website. Look at this. Look, she has blogs. Well, look at this Google Classroom, stuff about Jamboard. Anything you want to do, she probably has a video or blog for it. So if you have not seen Alice Keeler, all right, definitely check her out. I'm going to tell you a cool story in a moment. You won't believe this. All right. All right, we got Eric Kurtz. If anybody, Eric. Okay, Eric posts lots of videos and stuff. So definitely check out Eric. Follow these people on Twitter. I got Twitter up here. Folks, I thought Twitter was a joke. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was a joke. I didn't know that Twitter was so big in the tech world. Anybody on Twitter? Yeah. Okay, if you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm like an old person. I got a store for every day. I'm letting you know now. All right, so I get this message from this lady, and she's like, "Chanel, I want you to host a Twitter chat." I'm like, "Oh, what? A Twitter chat?" This is back in like maybe July. I said, "Okay, I'll do the Twitter chat." So I get on here this day to pick a topic. I want you to talk about coding, robotics, and females. I said, "All right, I'll do that." So I make up 7 questions. The people log in, and everybody, they started talking to me. So I'm looking up the hashtag, and people keep responding. I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding?" And they're like, I'm like, "Give me some ideas for this." This lady was like, "What do you think about this?" I gave her some resources. We were talking back and forth. Before I get to the rest of these, let you see something. Look, everybody, hold on. Look who on beside. Look who on beside. Come on. They put me on the same platform with Alice Keeler. Come on, man. I thought I was doing something that day. Come on. Here's what's crazy. First of all, I'm real humble that this happened though, because I'm on like this thing with her, and she's next to me on there. I was like, "Really?" But here's what's really cool. The person was from the FETC conference, right? And the person she sent me the message, I thought it was spam. I said, "Maybe this person's joking." Well, how about apparently they were having some kind of session. So, and I didn't know this. My phone starts blowing up the night before this happened. I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Chanel, it's a picture of you on this thing. Man, you're famous." I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm Twitter famous?" Stop it. So I know I'm joking around a lot, but I want you to see that You can do this. I'm a kid from the south side of Richmond. I should be up there with her, but I am. This could be you.
You should be though.
You should be.
Come on, thank you. Come on,
You listen to Amy's too?
I know. I'm trying to act like she's not in here. Come on, I saw her walk in and I was like, man, Lord. I'm the most honest person you ever meet in your life. I always tell the truth and I always give an honest reaction. I gotta work on that. Yeah. But no, thank you for, I was gonna tell you thank you after the session was over.
Coming to this when you're Twitter famous.
If you haven't, check out the EduGals. We have good resources. Casey Bell writes lots of ed tech books. I see lots of nods. Casey Bell is really good. I haven't met Casey Bell yet. I did meet Eric Kurtz though.
She does, Casey Bell does a really great online book club, like through Facebook, where like all you have to do is just have her book and it's really fun.
Okay. That's why we're here. This is why we're here. Keep these ideas coming. And then Ryan Collins, I don't know how I started interacting with this guy, but he has a really cool website. And I mean, he always good tips and everything. I'm just here for the memes though. For real, like I'm just here for the memes. Like check him out. His site's called Educate Me. I'm just here for that. That's why. No, seriously though, he has great Google resources and everything. If you're looking for something, check out Ryan Collins. It's called Educate Me. Okay, that's the rest of the stuff from the Twitter chat, by the way. It's crazy. Find a sponsor. Number 2. Find a what?
Sponsor.
Okay, we're still awake. All right. Find a sponsor. Why should you find a sponsor? I'm gonna tell you how I got this idea. I stole it. But anyway, why should you find a sponsor? Give away gifts for your attendees, free publicity, and they cover travel expenses. All right. So I'm gonna tell you what happened in a minute though. And I say free publicity because right now, one of the guys I have my cybersecurity internship with, if you go on their site right now, there's a picture of me, and well, not a picture of me, but a picture of my certification and my name. They like, congratulations to Chanel. Thank you for the free publicity. And since they did that, this session is brought to you by Southside Soul LLC, cybersecurity company. We do a cybersecurity internship every Monday night. If you're interested, let me know. Armand Technical Solutions is the sponsor. They're the co-sponsor of my internship for cybersecurity. If you're interested, and these cool girls right here, let me show you them. Hey, you know these guys? All right. So basically, we do trainings on the weekends for people. So market yourself. I taught marketing. I could sell sand to the beach. Market yourself. That was a good analogy. All right, let's talk some more about it. More things you can do to get yourself out there. Like I told you, I still lots of ideas. Number 1, letter A, I said borrow ideas. All right, here we go. The idea I had for a sponsor, I didn't think of that. I went to a Vista conference about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It's a young man from Newport News. And his last name is Skinner. I don't know. Anybody from Newport News in here? No? Okay. All right. Good. Don't tell him I stole this. All right, here we go. So Mr. Skinner was giving out prizes the whole time. I normally do that. I'm sorry, I'm on the board now, and it's busy, so I haven't had time to do this. But anyway, he's giving out prizes. At the end of his session, he gave out a scholarship to Strayer. I wish I was lying, but he really gave out a free scholarship to Strayer for like a whole degree. So yeah, so you know me. At the end of the I played cool. I chased him outside after the presentation. I said, "Excuse me, sir, how'd you do that?" He said, "Well, I wanted to walk in Strayer because I went there, so I called him." I said, "You called him and said what?" He said, "I called him and said, I want to represent your school." I said, "Oh man." I said, "With this?" They said, "Yes, apparently." So, you know, that's what I did. I called Strayer too. Man, they ignored me, but I tried. I really did try. I hurt my feelings. When you go to conferences, you meet people from other areas. I won a National Coaching Award a couple of years ago, and I went there, and I kept meeting all these people. So the young ladies I won the award with a couple other people, we presented the coaching together last year. It was virtual, but we had lots of people on that session. Meet somebody, because if you need a favor, you need a job, they just might get you one. Now, I'm not leaving Alexandria. Anybody heard that? Okay, all right. Let us see job opportunities. Tell you how I got to Alexandria. I was in my very first visit, 2016. think I'm getting old. I think it was 2016. And I'm sitting there, and this young lady from Alexandria is sitting there presenting. She's polished. She's amazing. She does all these cool facts about her school. Like, yeah, polished. That look pretty good. I could do that. As I was stepping inside my district, I didn't tell anybody I was thinking that. So I was like, man, this is great. So I waited. In 2018, I saw a position open. I said, I'm going to apply for that. And I'm like, that's no way in the world they're going to hire me. Here's what happened. I go on the interview, right? And they said, do a presentation. I presented like Google Drive or something. I think I'm Google savvy. Anyway. So I presented it. I think it goes well. They go, Chanel, we're not hiring you. Hurt my feelings. So I'm like, okay. Let me tell you what happened. A week later, my boss calls me. Says, Chanel, we've been thinking about you for a week and talking about you. I said, really? I said, is this a joke? She said, no. She said, give me 2 weeks. We're going to put you in the budget. We're going to hire you. I said, you're kidding. 2 weeks later, she called me back. Guess where I work at? So speaking into existence, because you can do it. I'm gonna tell you what, I saw that paycheck. I really like working at Alexandria. I do whatever they tell me to do. I'm behaving today. Run for a board of director position. I'm on the Vista board. I didn't think, so I saw an email one day that said, Vista board director positions are open. And I was like, they're not gonna pick me. I said, they might. So I put in for it. I went up there. And shout out to my friend Timothy Back. We joined the board at the same time. And they put us all on the website and people voted for us. I didn't tell nobody, I didn't know anybody, and I won. So here I am. I said, okay. Here's the thing though, get on there, because get on a board, any board that has something to do with education. Because you might meet somebody who can influence your career. I met lots of people I didn't know before. And if I call to ask for a favor, you know what happens? They answer me. And I don't know, now I'm on. Here's what happened. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I thought look, I'm honest. I thought I was signing up for the conference committee when I ran for the board. I didn't know about you. So I get on the board. I'm like, what happened to the conference? So lo and behold, they found out I'm a DJ. They found out I'm good at certain things. They go, Chanel, you want me on logistics? I said, how did I get here? So now I'm on the conference committee. Here's the thing though. Remember, school districts aren't traveling. That's how I got here. They pay for everything because I'm on both these. So get on the board. All right. Here we go. Teach someone else a new skill and learn new skills. I had a coworker who told me that she doesn't want to come to conferences because she has nothing to offer. Believe me, that little small thing that you do better than somebody else doesn't know how to do it. I went to a conference session, I think I was at ITRT. A young lady showed us how to use different cursors. Not even that, it was cursors that you use to click on stuff. She did a whole hour-long session on it. And it was amazing. I was just sitting there going, really? So the thing that you do, is that's the smallest thing ever can be the biggest thing in the world to somebody else. I did a session last year on drones, microbits, or something else. This guy came up to me like he was at the NFL, like he was at the Super Bowl. Was like, that was the greatest session I've ever seen. Dude, I just pushed the button. But he thought it was amazing. So don't sell yourself short. Don't shortchange yourself. You have something to offer somebody. Okay. All right. Gain confidence. I'm gonna share a secret with you. Guess what? This is the first time I ever presented about myself. I always present with 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Thank you, right there. I always present with somebody else. And I don't know why. But this year she backed out and I said, you know what? Or this will let her come. I said, you know what? Maybe I can do this by myself. Here I am. I like talking to people I like talking to people in groups, talking to me one-on-one. I turn into a bit of a geek. I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. Another H, this is the most amazing thing I'm gonna tell you. When you go to a conference, you might be the company owner. That vendor home might be something good for you. Here's why. At the Coasting Conference, I actually met the guy who owns Clever. His name is Dan. So I went to the reception. Let me tell you about Dan. I'm mad that I didn't think this idea. You're gonna be mad too. He was a science teacher initially. Dan said, anybody who's clever in your district? Clever? Dan said he got sick of his kids having to log into multiple websites. And so he actually that's why he made Clever. That's my issue with that. Why didn't we think of that? We could be rich right now. That's my problem number 1. So here's what I did. I needed drones for my girls' coding club. So he gave me his card. I emailed Dan. Guess what happened? He emailed me back. He said, Chanel, I'll see what I can do to help you. He took the link to my Donors Choose and sent it to his entire office. Guess who got drones? Wow. Yep. I got 4 of them. So I'm telling you, use what you got. I sat beside the guy who owns this 1 million company at a dinner. I said, hey, how does this work? Look, I don't know how this stuff works. I'm like, how does this work? He said, well, I come to conferences. He said, I buy tickets to conferences just to come and eat with people. And that's how I get my funding. She's like, what? I'm like, what am I doing wrong with my life? Conferences 2 and 10. You're here. Can you use a hand because you're a bestie? Use a hand. Good place to be. I mean, my first bestie, I walked in like, these are my people. Man, this is smart people. This is great. I'm with a bunch of people who like technology. You like kids. You like education. This is the place to be. Anybody been to ISTE? Every time I talk about ISTE, I'm speechless. We went to Philadelphia for the last one. Somebody there? It's amazing. We had never gone, so my boss was like, "Okay, we just want to sit you guys down and do a session on what to look for at ISTE," because she was presenting on something. I don't know if I went, but anyway, but she actually gave us a map. It was like, this is what you go see, this is what you go do. It was amazing. If you have not been to ISTE, it's like thousands of people, it's like thousands of sessions, it's all kinds of cool stuff. And guess what, guys? I presented the ISTE last time, so hey. That same thing with the drones. They keep asking me to present that thing. Don't know why. I'm just pushing a button. Hey. Okay, I'm doing a little more. All right, a little bit. Anybody been to the FETC conference? Anybody? Okay, look, I haven't gone there yet, but that Twitter chat I did was because of the FETC. So I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a couple coworkers who presented there. I tried to present there back in like 2017. They rejected my proposal. I'm mad, but when you hear me present on Twitter, for real? But that, have to check that conference out. Anybody been to Coasting? Okay. Coasting is more so for ed tech leaders, like people who have like CTO positions and stuff like that. But you learn a lot because I went there and they were talking about different products. I saw this 3D bear product that they put on the table, and like it grew. It was like the most amazing thing. I went to Coasting because I won that award. What happened? My boss sent me an email and said, "Chanel, apply for this award." I said, "I'm not gonna apply for this thing." I won. I'm part of the first all-female cohort to win this award. That's the crazy thing about it. It was important. Oh, thank you. Oh, you guys are awesome. Come on. All right. But no, definitely check out Coastal. It was in Portland last time. It's in Nashville this time, so definitely check them out. All right. Anybody heard of Unison EDU? Okay, I'm promoting this. See this publicity. Patrick is on the VISTI board. And basically it's an organization for the state of Virginia. If your district can afford training or professional development, they'll come and work with you and figure it out. But they just had a really good conference and you actually get paid to actually go back and look at the sessions. So definitely go check that out. Publicity, there we go. Right. We talked about credibility earlier. And I'm telling you to go get certification. If I say I'm good at Google, you might let me train you. If I say I have Google level 1 and level 2, you might go, hey, knows what you're doing. If I go, I'm a Google certified trainer, which I am, but I just got that a couple months ago. But if I say I'm a Google certified trainer, yeah, I might charge you $100, but you might believe me now. You can go Google me and see me on the Google certified trainer website. You might do it. But anybody a trainer in here? Yeah, I love it. Go do that. You can do it. There's a lot of steps to it, but definitely go do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I learned most things by going to do the certification, if I don't know how to do it for it. I don't study it. I learned brain pop by going to the certification. I learned clever by doing the certification. Goodness, I learned vocabulary. I got a whole bunch of certifications, but go get them. Networking. If you have these certifications, if you go to like ISTE or ISTE or whatever, go to a big conference, they may have a meetup for that for you for certification, and you get free food. Look, my coworkers and I would eat shrimp. We were playing horseshoes. We were doing all kind of stuff. So get a certification, but you can go to the meetups. Oh, my ass was catching up with me today. All right, here we go. Certification. I talked to you about the CETO a little while ago. The CETO is one you want to think about getting. Again, I told you there's only 800 in the United States, 19 in Virginia. The test has 100 questions on it. It is a scenario-based test. So it asks you a lot of cool stuff like, this happened with the stakeholders. What do you think you should do? Now, here's the thing. The test cost about maybe $400. I got it free. Let me tell you how. Christy sent an email out maybe a year or two ago and said, does anyone want to get the CETA exam? And I said, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna Google it. So they said, if you go get it, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for the training and we'll pay for the certificate. I was like, what is this thing? I Googled it and said, wait a minute. And then I went to Coasting and I realized what it was. I said, oh, this is free. I'm going for it. I got in one study group. I got another study group. Now here, remember now, I'm not in charge of anything about this. I got with a lot of people who were in charge of things. And that's what happened. I passed it. So I was like, hey, there we go. So that, if they send out something free, ITRT just emailed me and offered me a free ITRT certification. I didn't have time to get it, but if you see something, go get it. It's free. Google certified trainer, Google certified, anybody innovator? Come on, I need to come to your house. All right, here we go. I put distinguished educator. Have anybody in here? Oh, you are rocking. Okay.
I collect badges like Pokemon.
Say it again.
I collect badges like Pokemon.
I do too. Because we talked about credibility. My friend right here mentioned credibility earlier. If they see that you have gone to get the certification, they can't tell you you don't know how to do it. They can't tell you you're not qualified because you're more qualified than they are because you got the certification. So if you get that certification, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. All right. And that's what I use any software that your teachers use. Get certified in it. Because if you're certified in it, they're more likely to say, hey, you're more likely to know the answer. If you don't, I mean, you can find the answer. All right, a couple more things I want to tell you to challenge yourself. Step outside your comfort zone. My comfort zone is normally having somebody to banter with, back and forth. All right, but right now I'm up here with myself, so outside of my comfort zone. Try something new, and like I said, earn another certification. I'm gonna send this out. Well, I'm gonna put the link to my presentation back on the screen in a minute. I want to mobilize together because, like I said, there's lots of women ITRTs. There's not many women CTOs. Remember that slide I put up there. So I want you all, when you get a chance to go here, put your email address in here. I want to start a listserv so we can share ideas and say, hey, you know, this conference is going on. This certification is free. It's what you want to do. All right. Anybody gonna sign up? Anybody? Yeah. Hey, there we go. Hey, I like this. Okay. My closing remarks today. Am I on time? Come on time. All right. I want to tell you something real quick. We're all friends, and I'm gonna share the story with you. When I was 5 years old, I was in kindergarten, we all over. But so I went to school that day. It's probably maybe the first or second school. The teacher comes up to me, I'm talking to her, and she looks at me, gives me this funny look, also to the principal. They call my parents. My father comes up, and they're like, she can't talk. I have a speech impediment. And my teacher said, you'll never be able to talk. You'll never be able to do anything. And my father looks at her, and he said, test her. I'm 5 now. I tested on the 5th grade level, my reading. I tested on the 6th grade level in math. My dad chuckled and said, have a good day, and he left. So let me tell you something. Never, never, never let anybody tell you that you can't do something. I'm a walking miracle. I was born 2 months early. You can do this. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. I want to say that to you. All right. All right. And I was close with this. Road I table. 2 rows diverged in a yellow wood. And sorry, I could not travel both. And being one traveling along, I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bit in the undergrowth. They took the other as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted where. But as for that, the passing there and one really about the same. I should be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged. I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Thank you so much for coming to my session today. My session, that is my email address. My boss, I have to present to my team before I come to any session, and they tolerate me. They laugh at me. But you know what? They gave me a standing ovation in Zoom, and my boss told me this is the most inspirational thing she's heard all year. So I'm with it. She might have been lying, but I'm gonna take it anyway. But that's my email address. That's the link to my presentation. Just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.